is my new puppy, Olive. I went all the way to Ohio to get her. It was an interesting trip. Got to see where my grandmommy grew up in Cadiz. Beautiful country. Got it from an Amish lady that rehomes them. Ones that didn't sell. So I imagine she's from a pretty good family. And a little less expensive. She wasn't really used to a lot of things. She did pee on the puppy pad, but she wasn't really used to being picked up. So whenever I went down, she took it as aggression and she would back up. So I had to work with her on that, getting her confidence up. That I don't think she was abused. I think she just wasn't used to it. And going up and down stairs, she didn't know anything about that. And so she said, I brought a carrier, but she sat in my lap the whole way home. It was like an 8-hour drive. And when we got out to go pee, I went out to let her go pee, and she had a collar on it. For the first time, I put a leash on her. She's a smart girl. She sat down and she thought about it, and then she started trying to take the collar off. That's a pretty smart girl. So she's trying to take the collar off, and I'm sitting there watching her do that, and she's trying to find a solution to the problem of me pulling on the leash. So she thought, well, I'll take the collar off, and that wasn't going to happen. And so what I did, of course, was just gently call her to take a step. It's like a horse, too. Just one step and see how that goes. Or a drug addiction or anything. Really. Relationships. Just take a step. See what happens. And so over the course of a few minutes, she started walking forward. And then the relief of the pressure of the collar was gone. So she got rewarded. She rewarded herself that she could do that. She's a very, very generous soul. She loves everybody. She wants to be friends with everybody. And I'm working on her not jumping up, because she's a little dog, but for a child, if she jumps upon a child, it's scary. Barking, like she has a little bit of separation anxiety from me, and she gets upset when I leave. Although sometimes she can be in the room. She's safe in the den in our room. And but then when she wants to go out, she gets real insistent, and I may not be quite ready. I'm, taking a shower and all that, and she gets real. And like today, she did that, and so I went and got her. I stopped her from barking, and I put her in the bathroom with me, so she was there with me while I was drying my hair, and she didn't bark, because I don't want her to get into the habit of the barking. Because if you leave them. So it's not that they have to learn it, it's that they have to be conditioned to that. And so over time, if she's conditioned to not barking, then she won't bark. When I first got her, I had pee pads on the bed, but now she can jump up and down. Oh, hold on, she's tearing up my resume. Don't know. No, she likes to do artwork by tearing up papers. Don't do it. So that kind of firmness in my voice catches her attention, because a lot of times it was just, "Sweet baby, that was a good girl." See, she stopped, and I gave her a reward, and that makes her happy. It's survival, she is very dependent upon people taking care of her, so she wants to do the right thing for survival. It's an instinct to live, and so if you play with that, you don't really have to tell them they're bad dogs, because they don't know yet. And some dogs are not as smart as other dogs, depending on what they're bred to do. Poodles are pretty smart. And the non-shedding. I'd had an Australian Shepherd, and I never had a Border Collie, but they're pretty smart too. They like to do agility and stuff like that. I played with her name. She came with the name Olive, and it took me hours to go. I did that the whole way home. I was driving, and she was sitting in my lap, and I was like, and then I realized with the World Preschool Art Movement for World Peace that Miss Olive, I kept thinking olive, like a party olive in a drink, and that just didn't go. And then all of a sudden I remembered the olive branch, so I call her Miss Olive Branch, or Ollie. And but anyway, I ended up having to put cardboard on the bed so she wouldn't pee on the bed to retrain her. Instead of doing something like yelling at her or things like, you just have to redo their schedule so they get into a different routine and they get used to it. So right now I'm sleeping with a lot of cardboard on my bed so she doesn't pee on my bed for probably a few weeks, 3 months, something like that. We don't want to pee on the bed anymore because there's no puppy pads. No puppy pads on there anymore. And Belle is adjusting. Belle at first like, what? A puppy? Now see, Charm wouldn't like that. Charm likes puppies, but not Belle, boy. She's so alpha. And she'll be grouchy and growl and even bite at Olive if she's bothering her. And but sometimes they really play well with the ball. The funny thing is sometimes Belle will go get the ball and she'll throw it to Olive. I see her do it. It's like she gets it and then she'll throw it to Olive to get. Okay, I know she has actually has good breath for a puppy. But you know, babies are a lot more challenging because number one, you have a human, and that's a lot more serious than an animal in society. And I love puppies because you can just put them in a room. You don't have to, like, you know, there's just, people say that's your child, and I'm like, no. I have children. You know, this is not my child. This is my pet, and I get a lot of great joy from her. It's a hobby. It's fun. I'm not trying to make my money at it, although I might breed her to Coton Lutea. Because I think she'd make a good breeding bitch, really. I might give it a try, see how it goes. And basically my one is a good pet quality dog for people that they would thoroughly enjoy, and it would be healthy and safe with their kids and stuff like that. And I think mixing she's a part Shih Tzu, part Poodle, and her hair's growing. I'm going to see how long it grows, because sometimes Shih Tzus have really long hair. But, and not hair, it's hair, it's not fur. Fur sheds. But the Coton Tulaire from Madagascar, I think I might get her a boyfriend. Maybe. We'll see. You know, well, it's not going to be for probably when she's about 3. I might think about that. But in other words, I'm not getting her spayed right away. I want to leave that window open just in case that opportunity comes up that I could give, you know, my friends presents or something like that with puppies.